right, here we go again. Buckle up. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to install the fencing or what. I don't know what the current intelligence is. It might make sense. I know the chief judge looks pretty liberal there. So I'm not sure. Now, the scenario that I was speaking about on the border, that's obviously there. So, like Homan says, the National Guard's going to provide security. They also have to provide transportation. So you're going to have to move in. It's not a good look. You know, you never want to be in a major city like that with, military armored vehicles. But there's really no other way to ensure the safety of transportation in an emergency. So again, you don't have to do that type of transportation, but you can have it at the ready. So you have to brainstorm some of that. That's why I say to purchase some of these other vehicles and, these the special like the Beast, and all the executive protection vehicles. You have a little bit more protection from that kind of thing, but it would be costly if they did break it. Right? I'm not sure, what the case and what each case is and how that scenario play out. But I've always recommended bullet resistant glazing on all vehicles, all law enforcement vehicles, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it. Or worry about it as much. Obviously, that's just standard auto glass. So I'm not sure what you want to do there, but you can't. You're not. You could hit that scenario I was speaking about for quite a few years now, where you can't actually drive and you have to go up over things because they just keep putting flash mobs everywhere you go. So apparently, National Guard's moving in. You're probably going to need to, where we at, LA, California. I think Camp Pendleton's already operating somewhere on the border, I think. There's some other bases out there. What's Fort Ord doing now? I know they're light, though, so that's not best. Ord. Oh, former. It's not anymore. No. Air Force Bases, Coronado. Bring the SEALs. Naval Air Station, Larry Moore. Pendleton, Marine Corps Air Station, Miramar. Both of those are probably going to need to help. Unless we have National Guard from other places. Now, as far as the sheriff not cooperating, LA sheriff, well, The problem with that, though, is every time that comes up, the people have to be investigated for links to racketeering and crime and all that. That's the weird part of all that. I don't know why people put themselves out like that. I mean, the guy in Osceola County, Florida, that's a weird place to have something like that. I mean, yeah, they're corrupt in Florida. I've said that for years. But that's pretty far out, that whole thing he was into. But maybe there's others. I don't know. But California would be less not likely. Right? It'd be more likely to find something like that. And again, it could just be people donating, saying things off the cuff, and there's no record of it. But again, the donations might be there. Sorry. So we have to look at Pendleton. What do they have there? It's training, but what else they do there? Trying to find the units. So they're trying to find the units so then we get up closer to this. That's funny because they have interactive customer evaluation, ICE, DISA, MIL. So ICE got dissed. Now it's a military operation. It's on the Pendleton Marines .marines.mil page at the bottom. It says ICE. So yeah, they're going to be in there. I got to figure out who's there. Units there's support command, operational commands. Marine Expeditionary Force, Marine Expeditionary, First Marine Division. Oh, okay, yeah, you got a lot of stuff there. Okay, so you're gonna have to. I go down to Pendleton and look at what you could use, but also, you can use some other help too. So you need some of your some of those intelligence positions I spoke about. People that know how to manipulate people away from things. I don't know if they can do that. Let me think. I don't know if they can. They can't. I don't know if they can directly psychologically operate the opposing entities, but they can instruct. If you need some assistance, you know, I think they can. I think they can instruct you. I don't think they can. But if it's a national emergency, they might be able to. I mean, it's well, part of it is to disrupt the disruption, and there's intelligence operations that can do that. So they probably have some pretty good intelligence people there that have some experience disrupting. Actually. So sapper. They have this other one that says sapper, but without only one P. Sexual assault prevention and response. Intelligence support, MARSOC. We are Marine Raiders. Explore the career path. Look, I just got offered a job. I'm too old. It's over. Didn't know any of this when I was younger. Trust. So yeah, go down to Pendleton. I know they've deployed, I think, some, maybe in the helicopters we saw, but they can help you with transportation or even backup. It's the same idea that you need to at least have that available if something goes bad. Well, you might want to move some of their vehicles up to a storage point, or a deployment point near LA. So you might want to go down. You go down to Pendleton and figure out how to transport their vehicles up, and just put them somewhere. If you need them, there's no need in having all those windshields broken. Right. Marine Corps Installations West conducted exercise Semper Duris 20 from May 19th, reinforcing the regional command's mission to protect installations, support, operate, and maintain readiness and dynamic threat environments by including scenarios based on threat activity seen across the region. So this would be a good time for them to come out. They just got trained up in exercise Semper Duris. So they're ready. But who is that? Was that the Raiders? Sorry. That's Camp Pendleton News. So I don't know who was training in that, but apparently From May 19th to 22nd, reinforcing Marine Corps Installations West conducted an exercise Semper Duris 2025 from May 19th to the 22nd, reinforcing the regional command's mission to protect installations. You know, that's what they needed for. Support operational forces and maintain readiness in a dynamic threat environment by including scenarios based on threat activity seen across the region. Sorry, it's not opening. Link and tab. Something's not. Oh, I guess I'm there on that page. There's not much there. Sure. Actually, maybe there is. Okay. Incursions. All right, so they had some training. Some of them have went through. So it says to enhance emergency preparedness and rapid response capabilities across multiple Marine Corps installations, participating installations, including Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, Marine Corps Air Station Camp Pendleton, Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, Marine Corps Logistics Base Barstow, Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center, 29 Paws. So some of their people have trained on something very close to what you need. I don't know how active they could be in it, but actually it says FBI on that guy's vest. I don't know. Wait, photo special agents with the FBI standing on the office post security. Oh, okay, so they were part of it? Oh yeah, the FBI was in it. San Diego and Los Angeles. So okay, so there's some interoperability that's been working already. So, right. So we need to look at what we can do there. What's lawful there. Okay, so ascertain what assistance from the Marine Corps would be viable and legal. Deploying to forward I guess pre-deployment sites. it is easier to stand them down than to not pre-deploy and then need them in an emergency. So that would get some good training for them again. Sorry. Thank you, Larry. So, it's a weird day because it's just everything was different today. I was going to go to the gym and I didn't go to the gym, and somebody must have been calling you up. I'm investigating something, but I can't talk about it. Thank you. Oh, I may have also actually said part of it. Thank you, Larry. Uncursed. She's still the same pose. Pose again. I trained with the FBI on something, so it's interoperability type of stuff. So there's a recent interoperability. I guess I spelled it right. Interoperability. I don't know. Interoperability. Ascertain what assistance to record be viable and legal. Right. Well, you might need your vehicles up there just to have them there. That's the hardest thing to probably get rolling there. Sometimes they use trains. Sometimes they use 18-wheeler trucks. About the exercise installations, respond to a wide range of simulated crises, include active shooter, trained around with chemical spills, drone accusers, other unauthorized access, conflicting vision, public concerns, as well as the challenge with effectively responsibly defensively under pressure. Okay, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Worked pretty good. Just looking at some of the photos there. What team is this? That's a military team. Looks like a sheriff or something. Can't quite see what it says on the patch. Maybe it is oh, maybe it is. Okay, yeah, it's U.S. Marine Corps Special Reaction Team members of the Provost Marshal Office. But the vehicles, they have some vehicles down there where you don't have windshields that'll break, right? Or they're not easy to break. So you have to look at that. National Guard might have what you need, but you got to get them out of those vehicles. Make any sense? Right. Don't be dirtying up the rental van. leaving dirty or used soda cans around. Oh, they ruined the rental van. I don't know if it's a rental, but it probably is. Maybe not, but it doesn't make sense for them to have that if it isn't a rental. We agree. I'm sorry. Well, glass is caca. Glass is caca in that vehicle. Right. And I've been telling you to upgrade glass for years. I'm sorry. And we need now as far as water transportation. It's saying there could be a scenario where that's necessary. Again, one of the keys is a workaround transportation. So what can we do not to end up on that highway in that situation? Right. Oh, you could deploy by water to a certain location, get out and meet some other vehicles, and then come in from there. So again, I don't know where you need to go and what your requirements are. But you may be able to go north to south or south to north based upon a water transportation route, and then then once you get around the worst part of the city where that's happening or whatever it is you're doing, then you go back, you go to a port, and then there's some vehicles there ready to pick you up or transporting detainees. So you have some water transportation assigned for an emergency. That if you have to go from South LA to something north of LA, you just go towards the water. You get in the boat, you go up, and then you get out, and you. Right. Because we don't know what the scenario is going to develop into. It's never been lucky with LA per se, or lucky per se with LA. So again, you just keep developing a plan, deploy as you can, and at a certain point it may be prudent not to deploy. I don't know, what's going on there and what your plans are, but you have to keep going. You can't stop. Any sign that you're stopping will cause it to get worse, and it still could get worse. But again, don't feed into it by stopping or even slowing down. Well, the scenario that we had in, was it Portland? I'll post this.
Nearly every night for weeks, Portland's federal courthouse has come under attack.
People should be yelling, shouting
it looks like they're trying to get something like that going. I don't necessarily see it
their
going.
grievances,
you have more
not trying to
intelligence than
burn
I
it to
do,
the
but-
ground.
Donald Washington and Russell Berger are U.S. Marshals charged with protecting federal courthouses. Tonight telling us protesters targeted their deputies with Molotov.
Their grievances, not trying to burn it to the ground.
Donald Washington and Russell Berger are U.S. Marshals charged with tactics have been criticized, including shooting this protester with an impact munition. He's now recovering.
The case of Donovan Labella, who's 26 years old.
Correct.
He was shot in the...
Thank you, Mark. Welcome, thing. Excellent. So again, we need to be prepared for that. That's why, again, I didn't tell you to put the fences up unless you think you need to, but you need to have it all ready. You don't need to be scrambling later, so you need to have, have somebody calculate what barricades and fencing and, how much, how tall, and then start moving in that direction. It may be prudent that if you have a federal stockpile of such stuff, that every major city that you believe you could have that issue in, that you pre-deploy it. So you have it sitting somewhere in a yard somewhere nearby. And that's a Texas man in Portland. So I don't know if it'll get to that point. Right, I got something kicking off in when it's in Minnesota or something. So I could get there. All right, so we see you break the windshield. Just do some trash at it. Yeah. So, who leaked it on Reddit? Okay, so they went after that girl, so I can't see where they arrested that guy. They needed to arrest that guy. Right. Oh, maybe they are. I can't tell what they're doing over there. A guy in that hoodie, he's the one that's telling everybody to do it. He should be charged. Because people, you're being whooped up. So, of course you don't charge who you charge, but he's trying to get people to come off the sidewalk into the street to block the federal officer vehicle or whoever's vehicle it is. Right. After her, he's sitting there over there with a smirk, but I can't tell. There's a lot of officers over there, but I can't tell what they're doing. If they got him or not. He's there walking around. Yeah, see, he's the one that's causing the shit. Right. Yeah, he should have been put down on the ground. Right. Yeah, protesters drivers now using Hampton, Los Angeles Detention Center where ICE 40 undocumented tear gas and flashbangs. Right, so they're gonna have to. I don't know. The sheriff of LA said he wasn't going to cooperate, but they're attacking his facility. So I'm not sure what to say. Right. Well, they got to put fencing there and barricades because they're actually trying to take out the concrete there. Right. Well, you got to man it. All leave is canceled. Now, who is that? Is that ICE? Deploying all that stuff, riot control stuff. Well, that's like his facility. I mean, right. No, it looks like you're going to have to at least plan to go into that Portland type of scenario. I looked up the chief judge in LA just to see who it was, and she's kind of an Obama person. It doesn't make her a bad person. It's just, it's a little harder sometimes to convince them on what's going on. Correct. And what needs to be deployed. I mean, I'm not saying you need it now. I mean, Homan's got people, I'm sure, on it. And or Noam, Christy Noam. Yeah, you need transportation vehicles at least in I can't even think of the word, on standby. Right. So you move them up there and put them on standby. So you kind of pre-deploy them. You deploy them, but it's a pre-deployment. Because they don't become operational to you. Because, tomorrow could be a completely different day, or even Monday. Sometimes it goes till the end of the weekend, and then. Right. But you're going to need vehicles, helicopters, and maybe probably a few watercraft just in case you need to bust up the coast for some reason. Well, if the city were to go to something crazy, then you would want, one of the easiest ways to do it is helicopters or watercraft to get around it if you had to get around it for some reason. Again, they're going to be looking for your vehicles to stop movement and transportation. Could be even marshals' vehicles at this point. So if you need to produce, I guess helicopters could do it, but sometimes watercraft is cheaper and easier. Well, till you get north of LA, if you have to do something in the south, I don't know what the layout is. But again, of course, the Marines there have some water units that might be able to help you. But you don't want the broken windshield scenario. Oh, it seems a little cold in here. Let me turn this AC down. I think I'm completely changing. Like my body's changing back. I would put it down to like 68, 65 actually even. Now I'm turning it down from 70. My fluids in my body all got thick. Somebody may have drugged me. Because remember my snot was thick, but apparently my blood may have been thick, caused to be thick. You can stroke somebody out that way, right? My eye gelled up. One of my eyes was too thick. But I would enact a federal law that requires them to stay a certain distance away. Now there has to be requirements for that, conviction, for that to be charged. You have to hash that out. But that's going to give you an extra tool that no matter what's happening, if you invoke that security zone, you can arrest them. Because a lot of stuff state charges, right? Again, there's obstruction and all that, but it's just an easier way to do it for people that are just in your way, or too close. Because how that is. Once they get too close, then you got to worry about them. You can't focus as much on what's going on. I imagine they know that. Okay, something's happening in New York City now. Yeah, start moving. It doesn't look as bad in New York. Look kind of peaceful, actually. Thank you, Larry. I just protesting's okay. Right. Okay, so they shouted, "Kill yourself." If they're metaphysical, then you were all cursed to commit suicide, and that's been coming and going. So you have to be careful of that. You heal it, heal everything, actually. Yeah, we have to secure. That's essentially what we're doing. We have to secure federal operations in LA for now, or at least plan to. So we have to move in whatever we think we're going to need. Well, a big thing with the Marines can always transport you. I don't think there's any thing that says they can't. I don't think the law says they can't. It's just when they get into specific enforcement operations. That's where it's the gray area. They could drive you down the street. So you multiply the number of armored vehicles you have. I think they have those things we're using down south. The strikers. Camp Pendleton. Right, they're saying they have them, I think. What's the date on that? 2 months ago. Oh, you already deployed some. Dozens of strikers ready to complete this military action. Or is that only in the Army? I don't know. Okay, so yes, sir. There's a large service course for West Coast. Okay, including striker vehicles. So the 1st Marine Division? Not Army striker unit, so I don't know what they're saying. Okay, they're saying, I guess their interoperability, they've still a 4th Infantry Division. I see, light armored vehicle. I mean, they had labs before. They have to have something. Lab 25. Reconnaissance battalions. Okay, so they have the labs. You know, I guess that's the best. The 3rd Lara Battalion. 1st Marine Division, 1st Lara Battalion. Or 3rd Lara Battalion. Is there a 1st? Light armored vehicle battalion. Now are they there now? The Highlanders. I've been seeing the Highlanders coming. Highlander coming up. Light armored reconnaissance battalion. All right, Sergeant Major Lewis, we need to deploy to LA. Can we borrow your Sergeant Major Dakota? I wouldn't even try to say that name. Crone. Oh, it's not that hard. Kronjäger. T.R. Crone. You're not like that guy that killed all those people in that school, are you, Kronjäger? The kids, man, that Kronberger or whatever it is. All right, so let me see. It's saying that these are the 1st Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion leaders. I'm trying to find some information on their unit. Just showing me the guys. Tracks multi-domain reconnaissance, counter-reconnaissance, and security options to shape the battle. Unit commanders, so they provide support. History, mission, history. Wait a minute. I'm sure it's them, but I don't understand what they're saying there. So, in July 2014, Alpha Company boarded the USS American Sport of South, Foreign South, Delta Com, officially activated in October 2017. Alpha Bravo tried continued rotation by companies toward rotating West Cape Coast Marine Expeditionary units. So you have to see if they're available. They might be on deployment. Try other units too. Okay, there's a LAR battalion, and there's a first LAR too. That's what they're telling me. That's the one that's available, maybe. I don't know what vehicles they have. If you want some vehicles. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. First Light Armor Reconnaissance Battalion, which is what I just looked at, right? Let's look at third. Are they the same leaders? Can't find where it said units. So there's the first LAR battalion and the third LAR battalion. That's someone else. Okay, first, I was at the first. It's the third. Oh, they're at 29 Palms. What's their mission? Can't find much there. There was a history tab. So look for units like that that might have vehicles that you can deploy. Then again, it might fizzle out. But again, they see the broken windshield. So that gives them the idea that they can do that. Once it happens, then they go, oh look, we broke the windshield. So now, it's like no like racist thing in there. I'm not speaking that way, but it's like the monkeys when they figure out, they pick up a stick and they club something. Look at that dude. So they broke the windshield. So now they're like, we broke the windshield. Lawrence Moore live. Lawrence Moore live. Here. I don't think it's coming over my audio. All right. Where are we at now? Oh, securities message. 50. Outside of well, you got to adjust the blue big beautiful bill. Everybody knows they don't want some of that stuff in there. So even the senators. So you want to you get it forward. You got to fix it. I'm not sure what needs to be fixed, but that's the inference. Yeah, make sure you contact the military and at least give them the warning order. But you should be working right now to move stuff. And Karen Bass is on the wrong side of things here. Right? Well, I don't agree with all of it. I think we can better focus in other directions, but you can't allow that kind of stuff to go on. Could be working for the cartels too. So cartels may be paying. You don't even have to keep him here. You could just send him out of here. You actually have the information to deport El Brego Garcia if you so choose. I'll get into that later because sometimes that's what just a better course if you actually have the information.